Happy Friday, everybody. It's the Pirate Stacker, my pal
What up,
Fish. We're getting lunch. Yeah, tacos for me, 2 Texas destroyers for the destroyer.
Double destroyers.
Typical.
Yeah, I mean the destroyer is good though because it's, let's see, you got brisket, you have onion ring, you have jalapeno, cheese. I mean,
it's all good.
It is
to be honest.
Indeed a destroyer.
And these are the tacos we should have eaten on the challenge.
Hold on.
What happened?
Nothing.
Yes. Yeah, delicious.
All right, I have minor housekeeping.
What side's my camera on? That side. That side. I don't know where my camera is.
I made notes.
What's up, gang? All right, housekeeping. Fish has notes.
Go ahead. Silver gold stack chat. I sent you an email. Answer. I need your address. I'm mailing you something. My silver journey. Chips are going out to you. I will have my return PO box on there, or you can go to my channel, but don't worry about that. Just wait till you get it, and then you can fire me something back, because you said you were going to fire me something back. Now, have you ever had, Tommy, a situation where you talked about something on your channel, okay, and you weren't sponsored by them, you have no affiliation with them, and then they come and find you and leave a comment?
No, that's never happened.
I had that happen to me today, and it absolutely made my day. And I hadn't even
Deja vu.
Yeah, I hadn't planned on doing this or nothing, but it just happened, and I just saw it right before I came here. So I did a video on these pocket testimonies. And it's the Pocket Testament League, and they commented. They found my video and they commented. I'm like, how did you find my channel? Because I go to great lengths to be unfindable.
That's amazing.
Yeah, so they did. So then I was like, well, dang. So I signed it, and here's one for you.
Oh, well, thank you.
There you go. So
I will read it.
You
too.
read it. Well,
I won't just take it. I'll read it.
There you go. And it's got the signature. But I just thought it was cool.
That is cool.
It made my day. I was like, holy cow, they found me. So it was totally stoked. And the last thing is, I know that you have something here for me. It looks like a chip.
Yeah, my poker chip.
So
what is this?
This is
Canadian.
This is what we call payment.
Oh, look at that.
It's a 1904.
That's awesome.
Yeah, Canadian quarter. And I know you use Namista, so I printed out the Namista. It is
well, that's very cool.
It's sterling, so it's 925.
Yeah.
And then, what's cool though is it's a 1904, and that's the lowest mintage.
That is cool. 400,000.
Yeah.
This is $12 in good condition.
$12 in good condition, which is, you know.
Wow. Well, thank you.
And I got this.
There you go.
I got the new.
You got a poker chip. Well,
and stickers.
I made out on that deal.
That's all right.
That's very cool. That's actually awesome because I have a box. A foreign box, and I have a Canadian bunch of silver Canadian coins, but I don't have this coin.
I mean, I didn't realize, like, after I pulled
cool.
it aside,
Thank
like,
you.
oh, Tom will love this, but I didn't realize until I pulled the Namista, I was like, oh, dang, it's actually
It's a value move.
it's a nice coin.
I want to start off by saying these jalapenos are kicking hot today, which I could have guessed because they're all shriveled up. They've been cooking.
I wanted to say that this Texas Destroyer is amazing.
Well, let's talk. Let's talk what's happening in coins in the world.
No.
I already know where this is going. This is going to the bars.
To talk about the bars. We don't have to spend all day on it, but we have. So I already talked about this in the pre-video on my other video that's going to discuss it. That there is. So I would not. I said in the video, you could offer me an ounce of gold. I would not give it because I cannot repurchase it. I can buy more gold. Gold is not rare. It's not.
It's rare to me because I don't have hardly any in my stack.
But you can acquire it. You cannot reacquire those Rick Cheek bars. Those, to me, they're artwork. They're amazing. I have 2. And I have the big fish from Rick Cheeks. And I wouldn't trade them away for anything. They are not on. They're not. I mean, they're not for sale.
So
but you were going to do a 1/4 ounce for all 5. That's insane. Like, each one is worth at least 1/10 of an ounce. And that is not ripping people off. If anything, they're ripping you off. Because you'll never have that again. And in a year, you're going to be like, man, I can't believe I got rid of it. But at least you have a ½ ounce of gold.
I agree. I agree.
That's my take.
The Rick Cheek bars are amazing. And they're worth the conversation. Now, this came up because I had been hit up by numerous people about once a week trying to acquire one of those bars.
Everyone procrastinated. They're like, I'm going to buy one, I'm going to buy one. And then suddenly Rick Cheeks was just like, ghosted us. And everyone's like, oh, dang.
And I came up with a number that I could part with it and feel decent about. Now, it's not that I wanted to part with it, because I didn't want to part with it. And I thought in my mind, it may just be high enough to keep anybody from actually kicking down for it. But that was my idea.
The value is based upon what people will pay for it. And you've seen the demand.
Right.
And the value's there. I think it's worth more than a tenth, but honestly, a tenth is a fair price. A tenth of an ounce of gold, to me, or about 8 ounces of silver, is a fair price.
Well, and just so everybody knows, update, the set has been broken. One of the bars has been sold for a 10th ounce of gold, not my channel bar. Now, with that in mind, I fully intend to keep my channel bar at this point in time.
I need it.
The other 3 are up for grabs. You don't need my channel bar.
I do, because then I can complete my pyramid again.
No, because that's my 0, 0. That is the serial. That is the piece, right? The set's broke, and if I don't have the set, that's okay. So
forget everything I said earlier. You definitely need to get rid of that one.
I'm gonna keep the channel bar. I'm gonna let the other 3 go. If you're interested, hit me up, piratestacker@gmail.com. We'll talk shop. But one shot out today already, and it's on its way to its new home. I won't divulge information as to that, but again, if you're interested in any of the other 3, the red bar, the orange bar, or the satin bar, the red and orange have the pirate logo.
What about the one with the green underneath it?
That's the back of the orange bar. The one that went is the one with the heat paint with the trim around the outside.
The one with the green under is killer.
It is killer.
That is a killer bar.
All right, we're moving on from the bars. Everyone's sick of the bars. I love them though. I did look at them all day yesterday. All right, the coin world's crazy. Money's all over the place.
Yep.
I don't know if it's coming or going, but I do think gold's going to get more and more expensive. So I'm after gold.
Yeah.
There's a show coming up Sunday, Maitland show. I'll be there.
Okay.
I don't think I have what it takes to get a 10th ounce, so I will probably be looking to pick up a couple rounds of silver to stay on track with my goals.
Right. A long time ago, when I first got into the community, I would hear people say all the time, I don't hear it talked about much anymore, but like, if you want to buy a 10th of an ounce of gold, just start stacking rounds of silver. Then when you have enough, then trade over. Yeah, maybe you lose out on whatever and premiums and stuff, but it's a way to either stack cash or stack silver and then transfer it to gold. So just keep stacking is what I say.
You could do that.
Keep stacking.
There you go. So, you're going to be at church Sunday. You are not going to that show.
I'm going to be in Jacksonville.
You've been driving up there.
Yeah, man. It's such an amazing church that it's our church family. They're coming to Orlando with the Orlando campus, but it's not till 2025. So yeah, we drive every other weekend. We drive, but there's nothing better than spending a day with your babe who you love and just having a full day with her. You can't beat it. You know, it's like a full day date. We gotta eat afterwards, and it's just time with your baby, man. It's the best.
If you've never had cheese grits before, they are the
second
stuff
best is cheese
here.
grits.
Yeah.
Time with your baby and then cheese grits. They are indeed amazing.
Amazing. Well,
so what's your question?
I don't have any other housekeeping.
Oh, okay.
And
we have a jar.
We do have a jar, and I think the jar has been fun.
But so when you go to the show, you're thinking on just looking for some silver. Just pick up a couple rounds.
I think so. Look, here's what happened. My computer crashed, again.
Dude,
I work on a computer. And now I'm locked into AutoCAD monthly for the rest of my life, which is $250 a month forever. And that number will only go up.
I held out on Outlook 2007 until last year. And then finally Microsoft was like, not only are we not supporting it, which they said that a long time ago,
right?
It now won't even work. Like, it just will not work. They're finally like, there's too many people holding on to it. But to your point, they don't sell the software no more. They just rent it out.
Right.
They lease it.
Because they make way more money doing that.
But 2007 is actually better. It doesn't have a lot of the cloud features that the new stuff has, but it's so much better.
Right.
I mean, for organizing contacts and emails and everything.
Well, and this.
So I when you said the deal about the CAD, I'm like, dude, I totally feel your pain.
This new one is nice, but it just sucks. I mean, that's $3,000 a year until they raise the price, which will probably start happening every other year.
Well, the cost of your services just went up $250 a month.
Let's draw some questions.
Okay.
First question. Oh, silver spot at the end of 2024. Where do you think silver spot's going to be the end of 2024? Are we going up or are we coming down? Are we staying right in the middle?
There's so much turmoil in the world.
So much.
And the without clarity, you know, things tend to bob around. So my initial call that we made in a previous video was 35, I believe. I think I said it would get up to 37 or 35 and it would come back down. It would end around 32. I'm going to stick with my prediction that we're going to end about 32.
I don't think that's crazy at all. I'm going to say the opposite. I'm going to just take the flip side of that coin.
23?
I think we come down. I think we end at like 26. Now, it doesn't make any sense why I think that, but I think at this point in time, we know it's suppressed. I think they're gonna try and make a big push before we end up in full-blown war next year, and they're gonna try to bring the price down enough to be able to get a bunch bought before the price goes AWOL.
Yeah.
We'll see. These are not financial advice.
No.
These are pure speculation.
Yeah.
Had Fish said 26, I'd have said 35. But but here we are. That was an easy one. That one was silly. Now some of these are harder, which is the beauty of having the jar.
All right.
Is
what we got?
We don't know what we're gonna draw. You go ahead and get in there. Did you watch any of the?
I better not get another one of these. Who do you hate?
Well, if you do, it's because you're meant
I read
to.
This wrong. Biggest risk for stackers.
Yeah, biggest risks for stackers.
You know what I think the biggest risk is?
This jalapeno right now. This popper is my biggest risk.
That's risky. I think the biggest risk, I've thought about this for about 8 seconds now.
Yeah.
So, just off the top of my head, one risk that exists is when stackers are fooled into buying high premium collectible stuff. You know, that, and they're spending $40, $50 on an ounce because it's collectible, it's rare, whatever, it's a Germania product, or it's whatever it is. And it's not, $200, but they end up with this collectible stack that's all this stuff that's like, that's
overpaying for the hype.
And then when push comes to shove, what I've seen over the past 4 years in the community is that it happens all the time. Life events happen, they have to liquidate, and when they do, they have all this stuff, and they got, they can't move it. So underwater. I mean, they can move it.
They can move it,
to an LCS and they give you a spot. It's half what you paid. So I think getting suckered into that game is a risk, but there's not a lot of risk to stacking. I mean, unless you lose it, if a boating accident.
A legitimate boating accident?
Yeah, a legitimate boating accident where you have your entire stack with you. I mean, the only person that is at risk of that sort of accident is the transient stacker. He drives around in his truck.
And there is one of those.
Yeah, and he drives around.
Shout out to transient stackers.
He drives around in his truck, and it doesn't always. He says that he has a safe deposit box or whatever, and he keeps it there. But sometimes he does drive around with his stack in his I'm not telling you something. I mean, this is what he says on his channel.
Which
he drives around with his. So he's got like 30K in
which
gold
is awesome.
in his truck.
Yeah.
He's like a baller move right there.
Totally.
Yeah, but man, I would be so scared. Like the way the police officers in some counties and places, they find that, oh, we're gonna claim it, then you can go to the courts to get it back, and they just take stuff.
I'm gonna go a different route with this.
Different route.
Because there's two parts here. One is a stacker, one is a content creator. I think the biggest risk for the stacker itself would be I mean, truthfully, people don't know you have a stack unless you tell people. So that's on you. That's not really a risk. That's your own security breach, if anything.
Fogged up my glasses.
I think the biggest risk, per se, is getting stuck, getting took, not having an exit strategy.
Yeah.
You can always exit, but at what point, at what cost to you? And that is the lousy thing. So make sure you have a relationship or an outlet to exit it.
Yeah.
Now, risks as it pertains to content creator stackers.
Real quickly, one way to mitigate that exit strategy deal.
Yeah. Relationships
For sure, but also have enough of a stack that when you need to liquidate, you don't have to liquidate your whole stack out of desperation.
True.
You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And then if you do get taken a little bit, well, at least you still got something. I don't think some people. I just don't think they're stackers, but you don't really stack enough. You know, like you.
That's me. I don't have enough.
If you needed that money, I mean, like a $10,000 medical bill could wipe out your stack, maybe.
Totally.
You know what I'm saying?
Totally.
Like, and so if you have enough,
it did wipe it out last year.
Well, I mean, I'm the same way, right?
Half
I had multiple. We had a couple funerals. We had 2 weddings. We had multiple health scares. I mean, all these different things. And then we bought a house and we bought a car.
Right.
I mean, all those things were not planned per se, and
they suck it up.
They suck it up, man.
But that's what it's there for.
Yeah. But the stacker.
The content creator.
Yeah.
You know, people are really scared of the risk of face revealing, people finding out where you live, you then getting robbed, your children or family being held hostage. What do you do with that scenario? Not much. That is scary. I think that's an extreme risk. What I think is a more realistic risk, you know, they're talking about taxing unrealized gains. And if you're going to go as far as to tax people their unrealized gains, then you would certainly go as far as to watch YouTube and see all these people showing silver and gold on the screen, talking about buying a new ounce of gold here and this there. And I could see, they have 86,000 new IRS agents. I could see them putting a team together and being like, here's some low-hanging fruit right here on YouTube.
Right.
I think that's a risk. I think that's a big risk in that scenario.
I mean,
I hope that doesn't ever come to fruition. I hope I didn't just jinx everybody, but...
Well, what my understanding, and really this means nothing because they can change whatever, but what I had heard was that, and I guess I heard this like a year ago, but they were talking about taxing unrealized gains for like billionaires that have like an Elon Musk, who's like, oh, you just made on paper, you know, another $1 billion last night on paper, you know what I mean? And they're like, they want to tax that. But I don't care if it's, you made $1, you made $1 billion, you didn't make anything unless you sell it. It's unrealized, so it's not really, so I would be surprised if that
because when it drops, they don't give you a refund.
I'd be surprised if that makes it through legislation, but that's a tough sell for a lot of people in Congress, because Congress they're all out there getting rich. Their stock portfolios are huge, and now they want to start taxing themselves on their unrealized gains. I find that hard to believe.
That was the spiciest one yet, but I'm done now. I did it. They're deliciously spicy.
Okay.
Biggest risk to content creators. What's your thought? The stacker content creator.
Well, all right. So, Mr. and Mrs. West Texas Stacker. Yeah, it was the Mr. in the equation.
Calling you out.
They called me out?
No, You're calling them out.
No. I'm not calling them out. He just did a video the Mister, did a video on is stacking ruining you, right? It's kind of, so I replied that basically it can, like it can become an addiction. And and one of the ways to break that addictive cycle, I told him in a comment back, which is a great video, go check it out, people, is that take a quarter of your stack and sell it, and go on a vacation with the family or vacation with the kids, or buy a new backyard patio or a pool or a grill or whatever, you know, depends on how much you sell, and invest it into something tangible or an experience, and break that cycle of the community tells you all of your hope is in the stack,
right?
And that's just not true. It's just false. You know, you cannot put your hope in life in your wealth. That ain't, you know, it's going to fail you all the time. Not that you shouldn't save. I'm a stacker. You know what I'm saying? But
balance is everything.
Yeah, and so, but I think the risk with the community is when you start making content, is there can become an addictive cycle. I experienced that for sure. My first couple of years in the community, you have so much fun making content, and you're just like,
well, you spend what you don't have. I've done that.
And
you spend what you don't have to make content.
I mean, one of the goofiest things, which actually just like randomly worked out well because of Oviedo rare coins and collectibles, is I did a video one time where I bought like 1,000 Utah goldbacks. I bought, I think, 300 of the $1, then I bought like a bunch of the $5, a bunch of the $10, some 25s. I bought a bunch of them, but it was back when they were cheap, when you could get them for like $1.40 or $2 a goldback. I sold them all to
now they're like $5
right,
a gold.
I actually sold them to Oviedo Rare Coins, the ones I had left, and I made money on it. You know, it was all good, but that was a stupid thing to buy. I only bought that for the content,
right?
You know, and I'm sitting here having to tell my wife, yeah, you know, it's just good. This, you know, to justifying how this is somehow good for our finances. It's not. There's nothing good about that. It worked out well, luckily, just out of dumb luck, not out of any sort of thing I did.
But that wasn't luck. I mean, ultimately, that was relationships built with the right people in the right place, and that enabled that.
You just end up sometimes buying stuff, like you said, maybe people buy stuff they can't afford, maybe people, you know, on credit cards, things like that, and then they rack up debt and they got to sell all their stack to pay their debt. Maybe whatever it is, you know, it's just like there's...
Well, and
make stacking to make content versus making content about what you happen to stack are two different things. And there's people that make content about what they stack. That's where I'm at these days. I make content about what I stack.
Right.
Whereas in the past, I stack to make content. So I think that's a risk. And I understand it, and I think a lot of people may I
think a lot of people fall into that early on, especially. I think that's a really common thing. And honestly, a lot of people don't know this, probably not from my videos, but like I spend a lot of money. Like a lot of people are like, oh, you're wasting your money on this. You could have been stacking with that. Look, me going to a football game with the family or doing Disney for a week, to me that is always going to take precedent over a piece of gold. Now, if I was single, I may reconsider that, but the family time is invaluable. And, you know, I look back on the memories with my sons, and those memories are literally the best ones I have of my life. So family time is priceless and precious, and it takes precedent for me. You know, we're constantly paying off. I know we got a big storm coming.
You feel the cool air though?
Yeah,
this is nice. We got a big storm coming right there.
We're constantly paying off a cruise every year or a trip to England to visit family, you know, and that's $500 a month, $600 a month goes to that. So that's a nonstop thing. So while stacking is important, so is prepping, so is family, so is all that stuff, and that's it. Well, I think. Rather than crank out a 45-minute video.
Yeah, no, we can definitely. But we did learn something, okay? I want to tell you what we learned.
What did we learn today?
The ratio. You have a silver to gold ratio. Don't take a bite yet. You have a silver to gold. Well, you can take a bite. The silver to gold ratio is 2 Texas Destroyers to 1 taco.
To 1 taco. It is. But I'm a big talker. But he did crush me at lunch yet again. No surprise. Now I gotta eat this while I'm dead air. there you have it. Hey, thanks for joining us for lunch. I hope you guys have a great
Is
weekend.
the school bus dropping off kids at the barbecue joint?
No, remember it's like last time. It's special needs, I think.
Oh.
I
That would
don't
be
know.
way cool if they dropped it off at the barbecue joint for lunch.
That would be cool. Florida things. Have a great weekend. I'll be at the Maitland Coin Show on Sunday. If you go, maybe we'll see you there.
All right.
And other than that, thank you for my awesome quarter. It's going in my case. Very cool.
We got a new chip. It's been a while since I added a new one to the stack of chips.
So we had a good time. Have a great weekend. We'll see you next time. Pirate and Fish, we're out of here. Arg.